people-driven change,
civic engagement.
social accountability.
Welcome to Stawi Podcast. Hello, viewers, and welcome to the third episode of Ustawi. My name is Leocadia Gaudensha, and I'll be your host. With me in studio today is the President Kuso, Jesse Saruni. Karibu.
Nashukuru sana Leocadia, and Stawi is a very amazing platform where people get to learn and understand a lot of different things, and it's such a privilege to be part of the show today. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Um, you're among the first people to receive the plan when it was being launched to the public. How did that feel?
Yes, in fact, it's actually 1 year now
Mhm.
since the plan was launched.
Yeah.
The plan is the Kenya Kwanza Manifesto,
Mhm.
where it has details about the president's agenda on how to transform the country.
Mhm.
And I was fortunate to be the first person to receive it from the president in public.
Yeah.
It was a good experience. I told the president we'll support the plan, and I told him it's a good document, and I congratulated him for coming up with such a document. And he was really hopeful that the document will transform the country.
Nice.
So
Nice.
far, so far, if you look at the things that have been implemented by the president,
Mhm.
you'll find that these are things that are meant to transform the country. Like the Hustler Fund was launched. There are very many other different interventions that have been implemented,
Mhm.
including reducing the amount of loans that the government is taking. And all these things add up to the prosperity that we want to see in Kenya.
Okay, thank you. What was in the plan for the young people?
In fact, immediately after I received the plan, I took 2 days off to just go and study the document. And the plan was full of goodies for young people, including things that will enable the young people to be more sustainable, to access employment,
Mhm.
and to even reduce the issues of mental health among the young people. If you go through the plan, you'll find the introduction of the youth, the Hustler Fund.
Mhm.
The Hustler Fund is a kitty of 50 billion Kenya shillings that was meant to enable young people to access credit. Initially, the people at the bottom of the pyramid used to get their credit from pawnbrokers and at a very high interest rate, around 10% per day.
Mhm.
That is around 3,600 per annum. So Hustler Fund was meant to reduce that interest rate so that at least people can be able to access affordable credit. Apart from that, you will find the issue of internet connection and the digital superhighway. The digital superhighway is a platform that is meant to enable young people to access information and to access technology. And this goes in line with the Kenya National Youth Policy, KNYP,
Mhm.
which stipulated that there is need to use the affinity, to take advantage of the affinity of the young people. You know, young people have affinity to technology.
Yeah.
So KNYP encouraged the government to take advantage of that
Mhm.
and to implement policies that will enable people to access digital skills. So the plan is a document that was comprehensive and had a lot to do with young people, and
Mhm.
its implementation, we have started seeing it being rolled out one by one.
About youth access to credit facilities, we know that for every tender that's given, there's a percentage that should go to the young people. We have the National Youth Fund, and then you've highlighted about the Hustler Fund that's supposed to give credit to the young people. If they get a tender, is the money given through the Hustler Fund able to fund the tender? And then the other question is, there is an outcry by the young people that there's a lot of bureaucracy in the National Youth Fund. that if you want the fund, there's a whole process of applying, getting your group together. But at the end of the day, some people kind of don't get the funds. What do you think? Do you think they follow the wrong process? Is there a breakdown in the system? What is the problem?
Well, the Hustler Fund came to cure the ills that we were experiencing when we were utilizing the Youth Enterprise Fund.
Mhm.
Because the Youth Enterprise Fund had a lot of bureaucracies, and there was no guarantee that you will apply and get. But if you look at the structure of the Hustler Fund,
Mhm.
you'll find that it is structured in such a manner that people are able to access it at a personal level using your mobile without having to go through different approval stages. And the idea behind the Hustler Fund is to ultimately roll out a fund that will be available even to mid SMEs. So the rollout started at individual level, then it went to women groups, and recently the president launched the fund available to youth groups, all youth groups, either youth groups, women groups, to all groups. They are able, and chamas, right now they are able to access the fund. Now, moving forward, we are going to see the fund being opened up to more people, including the question that you asked, whether the fund will be available to people who have benefited from government tenders. So moving forward, that is what we expect to see. We expect to see the fund being opened up so that it can be able to be accessed to more people, including those groups of people. So yes, there is a lot of ills that were there when we were only looking at the Youth Enterprise Fund. But now with the Hustler Fund in place, we are seeing these ills being cured.
Great. Um, as the president of CUSO, we have like young people who complain that, yes, you're going to school, you're getting these degrees and all these, but there is an unemployment crisis. And the government has pointed out that one of the things they're using to curb the unemployment crisis is the housing plan. Um, Tell us more about that. L- Like, do you feel like it will, okay, to what percentage do you think it will cure the unemployment crisis?
Well, the housing plan is a masterpiece. It's something that I would encourage everyone to take time to look at and to reflect and to think beyond. It is a program that the former prime minister spoke passionately about when he was supporting it. It is a program that the former president spoke passionately about when they were presenting it. And we have seen the same passion and zeal from our president. This shows that this is a futuristic project, and it's up to the Kenyans to look at it, criticize it, and want to understand it. In my opinion, the housing plan is being fought because the people who are implementing it are not the ones who want to implement. If you're not the one implementing it, you fight it because it's ultimately a masterpiece. If you look at the housing plan, what it will do to the economy is that it will revolutionize the economy. It will enable the people at the bottom of the pyramid to be able to access mortgages. These people will be able to borrow money to either construct their houses or even to rent to own. They will rent houses at the end of paying it all, they own the houses. Apart from that, what it will do is that it will create a lot of job opportunities. It will be able to open up opportunities to young people where people can be able to be there to act as engineers, to act as electricians, and the different roles that are needed when doing such a big housing project. Apart from that is that it will be able to reduce the cost of housing in the country. And this it will achieve by number one, standardizing building materials. If you go through the plan, that is the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, you'll notice that the idea is that we standardize all the building materials. If we are talking about windows, we make windows with a specified measurement. By that, we'll be able to mass produce windows, and windows will be sold at a cheaper cost. What we are doing right now is that we are custom making windows, we are custom making doors, we are custom making locks, we are custom making sinks, we are custom making everything. But once we standardize, we'll be able to mass produce and will reduce the cost. So again, this will be a platform and an opportunity for people who are doing metal works to venture into that industry. It is a big industry. You know, if we get standardized measurement for windows, and young people decide to venture into manufacturing windows, this can create a lot of job opportunities for them. And it's a very big project. So looking at it, I see it is going to transform our country in a very big way. The places that we are currently renting as Kenyans, the cost of renting will reduce. This is simply because there are many people who will move to the affordable houses, and these other houses that will be left, the landlords will just have to reduce their costs, and that will be a plus for the Kenyans.
So still on the students,
Yes.
we know like most of the people drop out of school because of lack of school fees and everything, and help has not been coming through. Truth be told. So there's this plan that's replacing help. Tell us more about it.
Kwanza kabisa help in comrade spaces we call it mshahara ya comrades. And comrades really depend on help because help huwa inakuja kuokolea. When comrades get help, they are able to do one or two things. They are able to commute, they are able to dress neatly, they are able to get food and all that. And when the president formulated the Presidential Working Party on education reforms, as student leaders within the country, we held different consultative meetings among ourselves. And one of the recommendations that we gave to the Working Party on education reforms was that we want the amount of help to be increased. Iache kukua hii average ya 37,000 so that it can be increased to an average of around 200,000. That is basically because this average had been there for a very long time, and the cost of living had gone very high, so it was not sustainable. What the president responded by doing, he responded by giving us up to 207,000, actually 208,000, with the recommendations that he gave on the university funding. And what we also told the Presidential Working Party on education reforms, we told them that, you know what, we need different measures on how to repay back this loan. We don't want someone to clear their university and then the next month you're asking them to pay. We want people to start paying immediately they attain a basic salary of 39,100 Kenya shillings. By doing that, people will be able to achieve their basic needs. They will be able to meet their basic needs. They will be able to pay back the loan without straining and going back to poverty. So those are some of the recommendations that we give. And if you look at the structure of the university funding, as per what the president provided for us, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. It's something that we need to embrace because we were able to categorize students, comrades, into 3 categories. One is the very needy. These are people who are coming from poor backgrounds, people who are very needy. They are not able to cater for their day-to-day lives. So the government will give them 100%. They will also be able to apply for help. The other group is the needy, where the government will give them up to 53%. They will be able to access help facility, and their household will pay only 7%. And the other group is the less needy, where they will be able to access up to 93% of loans, they'll only be eligible to, their household will be able to pay for 7%. So if you look at this, you'll find that the average fees that a student, a household will pay will be 7%. That is around the maximum. And I think that is a good thing because, it has been troubling students for very long. Now, one issue that I have with what the president did is he gave the mandate to the universities to set their own
Standards.
school fees, their own
Oh,
fees,
yeah,
the
actually.
fees of taking the courses. So what that did is that you will see a lot of discrepancies on the fees of the courses. You'll see other universities are exaggerating courses. You see teaching course on education being charged around 300 and over 300,000 a year. So some universities became very extravagant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is not, maybe there should be a mechanism to just regulate that.
The new plan is not replacing help. Is still there. This is just okay, it's a complementary fund.
Yes, absolutely. What is happening is that the president has increased the help kitty so that it can be able to offer students more financing. And by that doing, I think help will still be there, that I'm sure, but the funding will be more and it will be easily accessible and accessible to everyone.
How does the government intend to do due diligence to establish that student X is like this level of poor, like is the poor? Okay, I don't know how to quantify poverty, but there are different levels you've given, like the very poor who cannot afford upkeep and everything to sustain them in school. How will they like do due diligence so that only deserving cases get the right funding?
Leokadi, I think that is a good question because the truth is that that is an issue that people will try to raise when they want to challenge the credibility of the new uh, the new mode of operation. But there is a scientific method that has been in existence where they look at the background of this student, they look at the earnings of the parents, they look at the history of the student and the parent and the household. And by doing all that, they are able to calculate and ascertain that this student is coming from a needy background. That same formula is what has been used even in HELB when they are issuing their loans, because they give an average of 37,000.
Yeah.
There are people who get more loan and there are people who get less loan, and there are people who don't get loan at all at the moment. So this scientific method is what is will be used to ascertain the earnings of a household. And by so doing, they will be able to identify and specify and classify the different clusters of students.
So we have this Kenya Youth Development Policy.
Yes.
That was, is it 2018 or 2019?
2019.
2019, that the main objective is to empower young people to contribute to sustainable development.
Yes.
And then there's a lot of strategy in place, like making agriculture more attractive to like make more young people get into farming. There's a plan to reduce the drug and substance abuse and many other things. How is the implementation so far?
Well, KNYP, the Kenya National Youth Policy, is a good document. In a document that it wants to ensure that youths are able to offer themselves to the country, to be able to develop the country, to be able to earn decent incomes, to be able to employ their creativity and intelligence in developing the country. And the policy intends to institutionalize the youth agenda within the government framework, which is a good thing because if you look at the youth, you'll see that they had been left out for a very long time. Now, there are a few things that the government has been able to achieve so far. One of them is the establishment of the National Youth Council. The National Youth Council has been able to be institutionalized, and it has been able to advocate for the interest of the youths. Apart from that is the establishment of the different funds available for the youth, including the Youth Fund and now the Hustler Fund, because youth are very creative. And if youth want to venture into businesses and enterprise, they definitely need capital.
Sure.
So the government has done really good in enabling the youth to access credit so that they can develop themselves. If you look at the finance bill, the current finance bill that is being tabled on Parliament, it has a provision where every constituency will be able to have a technology hub. So these hubs will enable youth to access information, to do their research, to do online jobs so that they can access income, and just to open up the world to the youth, including the youth in all the constituencies, in rural areas and all that. So if I look at what the government has done, I think it's commendable. Can the government do more? Yes, it can. Of course, the president has a lot of interest and passion for the youth. If you look at the opportunities that have been created for the youth, you will feel that the president has interest for the youth. The president's party, the ruling party, UDA, it has the most number of young people in parliament. People like Kiborek Ruben, very young politician, nominated Senator AC Okenyuri, a very young person, vibrant, creative, and you'll see her on the floor of the Senate advocating for interests of the youth. We have Wakili Jane, the women rep from Kirinyaga. We have, there's a lot of young people. So I feel that the president has a lot of passion in mentoring young people, creating opportunities for young people. And I just want to encourage him to just continue with that passion. And that is the best way to transform the country.
As a young person, do you feel included in governance?
I feel included.
Okay. And do you think that is the case for other young people out here?
It's not the case for other young people. And basically because there is a table. No one will invite you to this table. As a young person, you need to invite yourself. When a table is set and people are discussing things on the table or even sharing a meal or whatever, you will hardly find someone having time to invite you. But the youth, because we are very creative, we are very energetic, we are very passionate, we need to invite ourselves on the table. We need to fight for our position. And that is the problem that we are having with our young people. Watu wanakaa nyumbani, they wait for opportunities to come to them, and it can never happen. So the best approach, all young people, wake up, get out, show up, turn up, fight for your position.
Let me speak on their behalf.
Yes.
Where should they go after waking up? So that they get to the table, whether as a waiter or as the menu, just to get us, okay, not necessarily a seat at the table, even if it's just being around the table. What should they do to get around the table? Because the seats are already almost full.
Well, I don't think the seats are full, and if they are full, there's always enough space. Now, there are different tables that we can talk about.
Yeah.
And the first thing will be to identify the table that you want to sit on. Once you identify this table that you want to sit on, arrange yourself. Hata president, alikuwa anasema ni kujipanga, my friend. So identify the table that you want to sit on, to be part of, and arrange yourself. Make necessary, create networks. When for young people, for you to be able to find yourself on the table, you really need to be committed to yourself.
Sure.
You need to turn up when there are events, activities that are related to what you want. Just turn up. The issue that we have right now is that most young people are money oriented, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing, but don't let that orientation or affinity to money block you from accessing opportunities. You'll find that the president of Kuso,
Mhm.
I will request for a meeting or ask different people to turn up for a meeting
Mhm.
somewhere. There are those people who will ask, are we getting money? Are we being paid? Unajua? But if you're able to sacrifice ile tu kidogo that you have, sacrifice it, turn up, show up for the meeting, show up for the event, create your networks, discuss with people, share ideas, share your opinions. At the end of the day, you'll find yourself being invited to different other platforms. And by so doing, you'll be able to even earn something out of it.
Mhm.
But if you want to appear somewhere because you're being paid, you will just stay at home.
Tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is actually the case. Like, we all need to go through the donkey ears. Like, even if you have to walk to
Mhm.
where the opportunities are, even if you're not getting anything in return, you just go there a million times. One day, something will come out.
Absolutely. Because the truth is that no one will bring you opportunities.
True.
Yes, we have technology.
Mm-hmm.
Technology will show you opportunities,
Yeah,
but technology will not apply for you those
very
opportunities.
true.
We have scholarships,
Mm-hmm.
we have job opportunities, we
Mm-hmm.
have different things. Right now, it's even easier because you can stay at home, send your CV, send your application,
Mm-hmm.
do whatever while you're seated at home.
Yeah,
But you'll find that people want to stay at home. They just want to be on social media doing different things. I am not saying social media is bad, but if people can use it to earn an income, well and good.
true.
But young people need to get out of their comfort zone.
So one of the things I realized in the last election cycle, okay, we're already in another cycle. Um, Most of the youths are very uninterested in politics, and in fact, quite a number of them are not even registered voters, and they feel like, why should I register as a voter? Why should I go and vote? Whereas these things are already decided, and they also don't take part in public participation. Like, if a chief calls for a baraza or whichever kind of public participation, they don't turn up because they're like, it's a waste of time. What would you tell them?
Now, I think that is a very good observation that you've made. And it's true, it's happening.
Mhm.
Now, the disadvantage about that is that young people are losing very many opportunities because, number one, if you're not able to exercise your national duty, voting,
Mhm.
then you're not uh, you're not able to choose your leaders, and you're not able even to question your leaders because you don't have that capacity to even question, I voted for you, what are you doing for me, and all that, what are you doing for the young people. So young people need to get out, they need to get out, they need to get into these spaces. I also want to say that we really need very um, great and big uh, campaigns that
Mhm.
will just enlighten the people, the young people, about the importance of participating in these different forums.
Mhm.
We need civic education to be a continuous exercise. We don't want civic education to be done only during election period. We want it to be continuous. Like kama saa hizi tungekuwa tunafanya civic education so that young people can be able to understand that it's their civic right to participate in different forums. We want to see young people participating in the finance bill debate. Unajua? We
Mhm.
want to see them participating in all these public participation forum, so that by this time, when the time of election comes, people are well enlightened, they feel energetic, and they won't find it to be something new. But unfortunately, young people just want to sit back, they want to things done for them,
Mhm.
and if we continue doing that, we will not be able to make progressive change.
True.
Yeah.
There's this narrative out here that politics is a dirty game. And okay, I'm a believer that politics shapes the society. So there's no way you can hate politics because politics affect whoever you are and whatever you do. So tell us more about the opportunities that are available in the political parties for the young people. Um, how can they like get into the political space and maybe have a voice in how things are done around?
Um, First of all, I want to categorically say that politics is politics. Politics is not a dirty game. And politics is a day to day life.
Mhm.
Politics is an art, politics is a science. When you are interested for a guy, yeah?
Mhm.
If you're interested in dating a lady, you will approach this lady, you will sell your manifesto, utamwambia yeye nitakupeleka Dubai, nini nini, you know, all those kind of things.
Mhm.
There are those people who will use propaganda. Watakuja wakwambie, oh, you know, your boyfriend is this and this, he's not doing this and this, you know.
Mhm.
That is politics. So even when you want to date someone, you are already engaging in politics.
And we actually have campaigns in dating.
Yes, we have campaigns. So you go, you campaign for yourself. Unaambia yeye ni aje, mimi I'm the right person, you know, this is my vision, I want to do this and all that. So politics is not a dirty game.
Mhm.
But when you venture into national politics, yes, there are dirty players. There are dirty players in the game. But the game
Dirty
itself,
or smart players?
well, they are dirty, they are smart, and they are cunning. All kinds of players are there.
Mhm.
So for young people, what you need to do is to be to up your game.
Yeah.
Young people are vibrant, young
Mhm.
people are creative, young people are innovative. If you can be able to outsmart these people, if you are able to outsmart them, you'll definitely clinch these positions. Because, well, if you're able to pursue a girl and make this girl your girlfriend, then you can pursue a constituency and have them elect you as an MP. So it's nothing big.
Yeah. So you've been in the political space and leadership spaces in general for quite some time. For the political spaces in particular, how has it grown you as a person?
When you're in the position of leadership,
Mhm.
there are things that shape you. Of course, the different interactions you have with people. You will interact with people of a variety of backgrounds, various backgrounds,
Mhm.
various opinions, and various ideologies. But what it does to you is that it forces you to uh, take a stand,
True.
to just identify your stand and stand with it.
Mhm.
Because if you're swayed in one way or another, you will not be a leader. Now, leadership has also enabled me to expand my network. I have been able to network and interact with many people, including, as you said, the president himself.
We are sorry.
And I've interacted with him severally. And he's a genius. He's a
Pole.
very smart guy.
Pole basi.
He's a smart guy. You know, there it has enabled me even to learn,
Mhm.
to be in a position where I'm looking at people, I'm learning from them. A good example is that I was I'm recently celebrating my 1 year anniversary.
In what?
It's 1 year anniversary since I quit taking brewed, distilled,
Tea.
and fermented drinks. You know,
Oh, you only take brewed tea nowadays.
we are not talking about it.
Congratulations.
We are not. Yeah, I quit taking the distilled, you know,
Mhm, mhm,
the fermented drinks,
mhm.
and it's 1 year down the line.
Oh,
And there's something else that I talked about and said it was 1 year down the line. So I actually quit immediately after being on the podium with the
the
president. You know,
president.
brilliance. Yeah, when brilliance touches on you, you just have
We are sorry.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
I thought we would have invited you for sherehe, and now that you've quit, kuna sherehe ya juice kweli.
No, sherehe nitakuja, lakini nitakunywa tu juice. First of all, I would like to really talk to comrades, because comrades are very ambitious people, and they are very diligent people. I would want to encourage them to step up, to get out there, grab opportunities, avail themselves, and to speak out. Because the world that we are in right now, there's a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of things that you need to do, you can do to improve yourself, but you can only achieve that if you turn up.
True.
So I want to encourage the comrades to turn up and be there. For all the other young people, I want to encourage them to be keen, to just look keenly at what the government wants to do, and to tap into the different opportunities that will be created. There are a lot of opportunities that will be created moving forward. And young people can only be able to tap into that if they venture out. Watu wacha wajitume, tujitume, and tukijituma mambo yote itakuwa sawa.
Sawa sawa. Naonanga you like give people form where to get networks, like if there's an event for the young people. I see you always share, which is a really good thing.
Yeah.
So tell us about your social media handles where people can get you or perform.
Amazing.
Wajitume.
Yeah. So you can follow me on Twitter at Wakili Saruni, on Facebook, Wakili Saruni on TikTok. Yeah. And tukipatana kwa hizo platforms, let us interact, let us discuss ideas that we can use to transform and open up opportunities for all of us.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you too for having me.
For the youth, I hope you've learned and mtajituma, mwamke mapema mjitume. There's nothing for you without you. So get out there, get a piece of the cake. See you on the next episode. Bye.